While I was cleaning up one of my messes from a project, I came across something that might be helpful to others. If you have chickens or livestock or dogs or cats, and you put bait out for rodents, I'll show you what happened to this one. Thankfully, we don't have an issue with rodents in this building, but the dog does come in here and try and eat the poison pellets. So we put them in a homemade station to make it so the dog can't get at it, but it's easily accessible to mice and things. So I'll show you how it works, and I'll show you what went wrong so that you can do something similar and keep an eye on your own. As you can hear, the hens have realized that I'm working on something, and being curious critters that they are, she's coming over to investigate. Let's see if I can do this here. Here she comes. So I'm going to shoo her away because I don't want her near rat poison. Okay. So this is the problem that we want to avoid. Here's my homemade bait station, and in the cold, and as the time's gone on, the bait has fallen apart, and it's come out of my bait station, out of my piece of pipe that I made. So first I'm going to clean that up, because if you have kids or dogs, or in our case chickens, kids, dogs, here she's coming again to see what I'm doing. She may try and peck at this and get a taste of it, which isn't going to be good. I'm just going to get this cleaned up, and I'm going to put a box in front of where I was working, kind of cover away more.
What do we use that piece of 2-inch PVC for?
Rat poison.
Right. And we made these a long time ago. You girls were pretty little, and there was a thought process behind it. So you've got it set on the fence there with the measuring marks. What is the size of that pipe? If you put the blade down like you cut it, and put it up against the blade. What do you got?
Something just catching. 5 inches.
Okay.
Sorry, it's catching on.
All right. 5 inches. Now it's cut short so that I can get my fingers in it. Because what is the deck screw used for?
Keep the rat poison in.
Right. I put it in the center of the pipe, and then I tighten the screw down so that it will hold the rat poison in.
Yeah.
Okay, what else is the screw for?
I'm not entirely sure that's the other reason. I really knew.
Okay, well, I'm going to show you, because someday when you want to do this on your own, you'll know what my thought process behind it was.
This isn't for you.
Okay, bring it over here. And shush that chicken away.
Come on, Chubs. Let's go.
Okay, now kneel down there and put that piece of PVC against the wall. Now put the screw down against the floor. So what does the screw prevent the pipe from doing?
Rolling.
Rolling away, right? So it kind of keeps it in place.
Yeah.
You think you can scooch your helpers out of the way?
Come on. I don't like being pet.
Okay. So mice and rodents tend to travel along the foundation walls and things. If you put bait out in the open, they'll probably find it, but one of the better ways to get mice, or to place traps or glue pads or whatever you do, rat poison or bait stations, is to put it along an area they're likely to travel. So that piece of PVC pipe is cheap, it's easy. One scrap of 3-foot 2-inch PVC pipe gives you 2 traps per foot. So if we do some simple math, that's how many traps?
Not paying any attention.
Okay. Great.
Zoned out.
6. So you get 6 traps out of that. out of a piece of scrap PVC about 3 feet long. Okay? Make sense? All right.
So it's in the 20s, probably the low 20s. It's pretty cold. Here, get a little water. Run it in the cup. Fill it up. Okay. So we would normally shut the water off. Grace. We would normally shut the water off in the wintertime, right? Because the outside faucets would freeze. Can you rinse out the water for the chicken? Rinse out the white part? Don't get them wet. Yeah, don't get them wet. Yep, it's cold. Okay, so while we're doing this, can you read what the digital thermometer says here?
And it's the 65.
65, yeah.
65 degrees Fahrenheit.
So the water coming out is 65. And out here in the 20s, if you touch it,
It'll get really cold.
it's actually, well, no, if you touch it, 65-degree water feels really warm because it's cold outside. But how do we keep the water from freezing so that it's on all year? You don't know, do you? Okay, well, I'm going to show you. All right, fill this up. All right, now we're going to clean out that base. Because the heated water gets a lot of, gets bacteria in it and it stinks, okay? So take the brush.
Oh my god, it's cold.
Come on, you didn't even get one. Come on. Well, just look for the dirty spots there. You see them? And just try and give them a brush. And we'll get some of it knocked out of there. Okay, it's going to freeze on there pretty quick, so give us a little water. So our water coming out's warm, but on this base, see, it's pretty dirty now. You'll be able to see it.
It's cold really quick.
Yeah, it'll freeze. It freezes on the base really fast. Okay, give me a little more. Okay. All right, let's give it a quick rinse and hang the brush up again. I got it. Go ahead and hang the brush up.
Silvered.
Okay, that's it. So let's put the water back. So we are on the other side of the window where the outside hose faucet or the bib or whatever your preference is, okay? That's the window. And what is above your head?
A vent.
Okay, so it's a cold air return from the hardware store. And we learned this from Grandpa. When you want to keep one hose bib or outside faucet running through the cold winter, you can do it by cutting the drywall out and putting in that cold air return. So what do we know about heat? It rises. Yeah, heat rises and cold air settles. So the warmest part of the room is the ceiling area. So by cutting in that vent, it lets the warm air go up into that part of the floor and keeps that outside water temperature pretty warm. Yeah, so when you turned it on and we stuck the digital probe in that cup of water,
Like 64 degrees,
65 is what I remember, but 64, 65.
something like that.
So it's well above freezing, even though it's in the low 20s outside right now, right? So that's one way that you can keep from carrying water in and out of the house, because your mother does not like when we clean the chicken water out in the kitchen sink and stuff, right?
It bothers her knowing that there could be poop flying somewhere.
Right. So one way around that is to keep outside chores outside, and a way to keep the water from freezing is just something simple. When you girls were little and you helped make dinner, instead of using a knife to peel potatoes and rutabaga, carrots, parsnips, turnips, whatever, what did we do so you didn't cut your fingers, but we could get a lot of vegetables prepped in a hurry?
We would use like a cheese kind of knife.
It's called a cheese knife, yeah.
So the thing about it is that it has a little slit.
Yeah.
So then it.
Well, I'm assuming people know what a cheese knife is. Here, I'll get.
What if there's children?
Okay. Go ahead then.
And then you slice it, and it doesn't go too deep, and it just peels the skin right off.
Where were these? You go do the finish this one. Where were these potatoes from?
I'm not sure. We
Graham?
get them from our basement. That's where we store them.
That's where we started.
In the cellar area.
They don't grow there in the basement.
Yeah, they do.
We get them right off the farm from a friend of Grandma's. They come from Michigan, and they're really good, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to show just how quickly you can peel a great big potato, right?
I have too many cracks in it.
It's all right. Just do the best you can. Keep going. This has worked really well for the family over the years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We can do vegetable prep really quick. What?
I slammed my finger in the door this morning and it pulled off a
Oh,
bunch of skin.
is the starchy potato kind of burning your skin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen. Okay, Grace, I'm schooling you in potato peeling here. Let's go. You gotta pick up the pace.
Oh my god.
Pick up the potato pace.
Today is not my day.
Why?
Because I was going like that and then
You're fine.
this is not fun.
You want to try doing it the old way or the traditional way, and then come back and see
Can I have a less lumpy potato?
whose way is better?
It's too late. I just need a less lumpy potato. You know, I just don't need a potato.
Okay, I'm 3 to your half. Should we make it 4? Careful.
I'll pick that up in a second.
Don't cut yourself, because the cheese knife is safer, but it is still sharp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you take like, give me a 10-second head start? Are you kidding me?
Okay, let's pick up our mess.
It's down my sleeve.
Watch your fingers here. We're gonna cut these into smaller pieces so they boil up quicker. Rinse them and put them in the pot to boil. What are we making, Madeline?
Potato leek.
Potato leek what?
Soup.
Okay, so what goes in it?
Leeks, potatoes, and onions, and basil leaves. Basil leaves.
Bay.
And
Bayleaf. Okay. So it's pretty carb heavy, but it's no preservatives, no flour, pretty straightforward, right? You girls like it?
Oh yeah.
Good
Is
with
it,
chicken.
is it one of your favorites?
Yeah.
Okay. Grace,
Especially with some
hang on, I overfilled the water. Let me fix that. Okay. We'll put that in there. We'll get those boiling. we will cut leek. So Grace, we're going to need something to simmer or cook the, well here, grab the little bucket for the compost bin, because what do we do with our cutoffs that we don't use?
Give it to the chickadees.
Okay, but chickens don't really eat onions, so what do we do with the onion and stuff? We put it in compost, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so with the leek, we're gonna take the outside skin off, just because we don't know where it's been, right? Well, someday you could make paper out of it. We'll write some Egyptian hieroglyphics on it and make something interesting. Alright, so we're gonna rinse any dirt and stuff off.
Mr. Columbia would like that.
Okay. So here, we will roughly cut that. This is kind of a tough one, so I'm gonna take it off. Can you get me another pot or something out to put this in? We want to cut it fairly thin. What happens if you don't cut it thin?
You know, cook this fast.
Well, that, and it's kind of makes for chunky soup, right?
Is this like big enough?
Yes.
Emmy's home. Anybody home?
Hey, I'm son. Good. She can help with dinner.
I was just about to ask. Is that
That's the wrong one. Do you want to help me out?
sure?
Will you get a butter knife and get me 3 tablespoons of butter? Who wants to help me do onions? Can you take it out of the wrapper and put it in the container? Grace, can you come and help? Can you put that on a big burner? Put it on like medium-high heat.
How do you do it?
How do you do the onion? You take the ends off like this. Take the skin off. There you go. Do you want to come help? You can do one, and I will do this part. Okay, so the secret to the potato leek soup is pepper. Huh? Cut it up. You quartered it, which is good, but now cut the quarters into smaller pieces.
It's getting to me.
Let me find. Okay, so we need black and white pepper.
How should we cut this?
Into small pieces so that it cooks down. Okay, so here we have some white ground pepper, which is really strong. I'll do a little more black.
Is this how you do it, Dad?
Yeah, now cut it into smaller pieces. Okay, we got a fair amount of pepper.
Is that good?
Hang on. You got a good start going. I'll try doing it. Take that a little bit off. Now I'll try doing it this way. Now you got really good onion pieces, right? We got one more to go.
Where's the onion thing?
All right. So we kind of did this in a rush because we don't have a lot of time. So we cooked onion and leek down so it's really soft like this. That's what we wanted. So I'm gonna come around, let's put it in the stock pot. Now normally if we were doing this the way I prefer, we would have done the onion and leek and everything in the big stock pot. Save some of our dishes mess. It's just easier that way. Okay, you scoop.
This scoop?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Can't see.
Okay. Okay. There you go.
Want me to push her up?
Put this back on the burner. Go ahead and start mixing it up. We'll put some chicken stock in it.
Some what?
Chicken stock.
What's that?
Alright. Hang on, I don't want to splash you. This is a handheld mixer, and it's how we get the kind of pureed, smooth consistency that we want. We're going to need to add a little more chicken broth, so you do this. Do it on high. Sorry, I mean to splash you. All right, last thing we're gonna do. We're gonna do a little more salt, maybe
Handful.
well, not a handful. I really don't do teaspoon or tablespoon. I kind of do it to taste, so it's up to the end user. So let's just mix that up one more time. Get that salt through. The last thing we're gonna do, excuse me, we're gonna put a bay leaf in it,
Oh.
and we're gonna let it sit, simmer. And final step will be to add some
Pepper.
half and half to give it a little bit of a creamy finish. So that's pretty much it. We have no, it's got plenty of pepper. I did that already. I kind of made a mess of the stovetop. I'm famous for that. And that's all there is to it. 4 onions, 3 leek,
We'll leave the recipe.
5 potatoes, and then some chicken stock, and then some half and half salt and pepper. White pepper
And
is
butter. Did you say butter?
butter, yeah. White pepper is the secret ingredient. Scoot it back, make a hole for chicken. Grab hot mitt behind you, Grace. Oh, you have one. All right,
Is there like a...
just set it up on this pan. Okay, can you also grab the bread?
Mhm.
Just grab it out there. So we'll put a chicken thigh on here. Okay, now get some soup in the bowl and get your mother. It's time to eat. You got that part?